there's
folding seat.
Folding seat. But the bolt and the nut, you know, the stop nut will hold it from, make it so you can adjust it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. He's a handsome devil over here, wiring up this baby. So yeah, we're Tim's over here wiring. I just added some fuses in to the main 2 feeds that feed the bus. I just decided, yeah, it's got breakers on the switches, but I didn't have any protection on the actual main wires that feed the bus. I'm priming the engine with oil. I'm going to do it several different ways to make sure I get oil in it, and then pull the spark plugs and when we go to crank it and do some different things. And because we may fire it up on this trip. That's what we're hoping. That's what we're working towards. I thought I'd film this for the last video, but apparently I didn't include it, or I didn't film it or something. But anyway, on the mixture control, I've got some washers on there that I don't need right now. But what I've got is, if you look up in there, I drilled that bolt up towards the top of the head, and then I've got a sleeve, a chromoly sleeve that butts up against the wire, and the sleeve fits in the arm, and the sleeve can turn in the arm. Anyway, that allows you to pinch the wire but still let the sleeve rotate. As this thing turns, you know, it's on an arm and it's turning. So that wire goes through there, and as it's turning, because that arm's doing this, it allows that sleeve to rotate a little bit inside the arm, and then it doesn't bind up this solid wire and eventually break it, is the thought process. Now, did you got everything connected in the back?
Yep.
On the trim?
Yep. Trim's all connected back there and stuck back in the tail, so
nice.
we get that kind of, if Clint gets that built, if he does, or if he knows how to make sure that up and down is correct, we'll get that tied in down below here, and
nice.
That'll all be done.
That's awesome. All right, so Tim just left. Tim is somebody that Clint has brought in to help him do some stuff around here, just because he's got, I mean, between the exhaust business and Badlands Traveler specialty builds and all that, he's got more work than he can shake a stick at. And so Tim has been doing some of the wiring on mine while I've been gone, kind of helping me do the panel. You know, he cut a lot of the panel stuff. I sent him a layout, and then he cut it, and then he started doing some of the additional wiring that wasn't done. And you know, he's really sharp, really good. So it's been a big help. So I've been working on other stuff while he was, you know, wiring the trim and getting some radio wiring figured out, and mounted a lot of my switches and breakers, and then labeled them, and he's just doing an awesome job. So cool guy. Happy to have his help. I've been working on the I tigged this pipe to this fitting, and can't really see it very well now there, but I had to, you know, TIG it on at an angle to clear the mount, but that's for the breather. And I'm getting ready to build some kind of a little, I don't know, maybe an oil separator tank, something simple, probably just an open tank, but just to help peel off a little of the oil going out the breather. Okay, so I got the breather done for now. Now I didn't end up putting a catch can or a separator on it. It's something I'll have to build later. I just didn't quite have what I need to do it here. It'd take quite a while to have to fabricate every little piece, and you know, and have any like bends or, you know, pipe or anything, but I'll do that at home. This will get it by for a little while, and we'll see how much oil is blowing out with this hose. All right, so I'm working on the tail right now. I'm putting the trim together, trim system, and I'm gonna get out a protractor and try to set the angle on these, on the tail feathers, you know, get them level. We don't have a digital protractor, so I'll have to get creative to level the airplane and use the mechanical one. But anyway, I really love this and not having flying wires. It's just so clean and strong and tough looking. You know, the wires work, but they're draggy and they're annoying. Anyway, I just love what he did with the tail of this airplane. I really do. Powered up this camera to test my panel. So I got USB power, 2 of them. I got C and regular A ports on both sides. Be pretty nice. Working good.
All right, getting ready for the first engine start.
Okay, ignition's on. were setting the trigger gap on these Hall effect sensors for the ignition, we realized they were not set properly, and that may have been why it wasn't running quite right. And then we're going to check the phasing as well, and hopefully then it'll run. Okay guys, real quick, just touch on this in a little bit more detail, what happened here. So the light speed doesn't come installed on the Titan. I actually thought that part of it did, because, I mean, in a sense, part of it does. The flywheel has the magnets installed that trigger the Hall effect sensors, but those Hall effect sensors don't actually come mounted on it. And those guys had just bolted them on to get them on there before I was even around. And so I never even thought to look at that when I was installing the rest of the ignition system. And it was just something that kind of slipped everybody's mind, that we needed to go back and actually set the depth with feeler gauges on those Hall sensors. So when it wasn't running right, of course, everybody was like, oh, hey, we need to do that. That hasn't actually been done yet. I didn't realize that. So Tim had the right Allen wrench for it. He showed up at the right time, which was awesome. We went to work, set the depth. I think the range was like 30 to 60 thousandths clearance, and we went right in the middle. And then I also remember reading in the manual that we needed to look at the phasing, which one of my boxes was out of phase. These are wasted spark systems, but you still have to have everything set so that the boxes are triggering the right coils to spark at the right time. And one of my boxes, I had to switch the two connectors, which is easy to do. So we set the depth, checked the phasing, and then boom, fired right up. All right, take two. Okay, just wrapping up here. My last night, it's getting late. I still got to fuel up my plane and get ready to leave early in the morning, but we ran it. Like I say, we had a couple issues. We worked through that on the ignition. I didn't realize those magnets hadn't been installed and set the depth properly. And so we just hadn't even looked at that. But anyway, got some wiring done here, got redundant, master power, avionics, that lights everything up here. Accessory power, that's all my USB ports. Boost pump, that works. As you can see there, there's a light for the boost pump, there's a light for the master to remind me it's on. Why is my JPI not lighting up? I think I got to plug that in. I'll check that. But anyway, you know, things are coming together. Okay, just real quick update. I was talking about I needed to put a fuel drain in the Badlands Traveler fuel system. I bought another one of these Y fittings. That way I can just swap it out when I'm done. These are thick. They just drill the holes through this block, so there's a lot of meat there to tap, so I don't even have to weld the fitting. These are just temporary fittings I put on here just to hold it so I don't beat up the fittings with the vise while I'm doing the work. But anyway, I'm drilling it. I'm going to tap it, and then I've got a drain valve that'll go through this. It'll be about like right here somewhere, so it'll go through the bottom of that belly pan of the airplane. All right, well, there it is. That'll work. Doesn't stick down in the way of the flow. That's perfect. All right, good morning, guys. Just heading over to fly the airplane for the first time. So the FAA came and blessed it yesterday, and I got up here late in the evening, and man, it's just been a dead run, so I apologize I haven't filmed much. I don't even know what I'm going to be able to do for a camera if I don't have time to put one on the plane, and the reason being we got a lot of crappy weather coming in. So right now it's not bad out. I need to get out there and rip that thing and break in the engine. You know, I need to get it out and run it hard. I'll try to get some footage if I can, you guys. I just can't promise anything because minutes count right now, and I need to run it as much as I can to get these 40 hours worked off of it.
Nice cool morning, climb's good.
Clint's building the pieces for the bottom of the cylinder to trap
Cylinder
here.
wraps.
Cylinder wraps, yeah. This one's a little tricky, that number 2. You got the other ones all done, right?
Yeah, the other one's done. This one's just unique in that we're trying to funnel the air so it has a pretty large opening from up top, but then it kind of pinches it down. And the idea is to actually let a significant amount of air in, because if you come around here and look, one of the problems with Lycomings, there's no depth to the cylinders right there where my finger is on the front side of cylinder number 2. So we're gonna open this up and have a recess in there so that some air can get in to cool those fins. So this is how we come up with unique shapes. We just look for stuff that, I don't know, it's what Hal calls TR. That looks about right. So
awesome.
now getting it off, we did wax this, but you know, it just, you never know. Okay. Oh, there it came.
Right, and that all gets trimmed anyway.
See, now it gets trimmed, and so we work it over to the old handy snips, and just kind of get a rough cut to make it.
Right.
So this is what this is, a bump for the starter. So it's a little bit close to the cowling, so we made a little blister to just give it a little, I don't know.
Yeah, a little clearance.
3/8 of an inch clearance.
Yep.
So now I'll hit it with the belt sander.
Okay. Yeah.
So one of Todd's projects when he gets home is going to be clearing the cowling and using some resin to fix some of the little holes. What we're doing here is making this little blister for the starter. So we're just kind of getting it stuck in here for now, and then I come back later with a little carbon and do 1 or 2 plies over the inside of it. That will kind of sober it up and make the bond a little more structural. But this will get it stuck and get it started.
All right, it's home. It's nice and windy. I think I landed at 12 feet. Probably can't hear me because of the wind. This is the contraption Dad built over the weekend to move the airplane in, because it's such a tight fit with the wingspan, where now we can move it in without worried about dinging it up. So how's that for being pretty cool? That's quite an arrangement there. All right, guys, what's up? Hey, well, I'm glad the airplane is home. As you can see, it's winter outside, and the goal was to get it home before winter really set in, and we did. So that's awesome. But man, it was a dead run. And there's a lot of things I didn't film. I didn't even catch a single landing on video. I mean, I wasn't pushing the airplane and landing it super short or anything. So I wish I would have filmed at least one, but there'll be a lot of that, don't worry. So yeah, there's a lot of things I missed. I apologize, you guys. I didn't have a lot of good data in this video to show you what the airplane can do. Like I say, I'm not pushing it hard. Just flying it very gentle, getting some hours on it, working through some squawks, fixing little things, tweaking things, and still doing a lot of mods. There's still a lot of work to be done. As far as numbers and data that I can share right now, I'll give you a little something. I was at 5,000 feet, 20.5 inches manifold pressure, about 2,500 RPM. So definitely not what I would call like an economy cruise, but not pushing it super hard. And that was indicating about 118 miles an hour. I don't have true airspeed in the airplane, but that computes out to be up in the 120 somewhere. So that's pretty good speed. Once I get the fuel flow in, we'll have some real data. And I promise we'll get into that in these next, few videos. I have the instrument, the cube's already installed. I just need to wire it. There's a resistor goes in there. Once I get that in, we'll get some real data on cruise. Now, I'm probably going to pull a little prop pitch out of it up here. I haven't had a chance to fly it around here a lot, but it looked like in a climb I was only seeing like 2,400. So probably going to take a little pitch out. That's going to hurt the speed some. It is a bummer, but it is what it is, living at 7,000 feet. There is some cleanup stuff I've been doing on the airplane, little things, and then there's some bigger things like I could put fairings on those shocks. That's probably good for, you know, a couple mile an hour. So I'm gonna take some pitch out, and then I'm gonna work to try to get that speed back. That's kind of my goal. But anyway, I got some other mods here, other things that are going on. I ordered an oil separator from these guys. Just in the research I did, it looked like a good one. It's affordable, and I'm losing a little bit of oil out the breather. It's not bad. I think probably just because I'm overfilling the sump mainly. It seems like it only wants to hold about 5 quarts. But anyway, that's a cool deal because it'll drain back to the engine. So we'll get that installed. I also bought their oil heater. It threads into the pan, weighs next to nothing, and you can heat the oil quickly and easily. I talked about the MGL. I'm just going to get that wired. I already have it. I have a Flight Data Systems G meter on the way. I'm going to put that in the panel. The main thing that goes in the panel, you guys have probably seen that it's been, the panel's been, you know, pretty empty looking, and that's because I have an iPad Air with, you know, the cell data if I need it to put right up front and center in the panel. And then I've got a Garmin GDL39 3D, the one that can do attitude information. And I'm going to run, I haven't decided yet. I'm one of those, this will probably make you guys laugh. I don't have a paid app on any of my iPads that I've had. I was just using that Flight Plan Go, I think it was. It was okay, but I'll probably have to actually upgrade to a real app so that I can use the you know, artificial terrain features and some of that cool stuff that this provides. So that's the main part of the panel that's missing. So obviously I'm going to start working on getting that in, and a few other little doodads and gizmos that'll go in there as well. Those are some of the first mods I want to do. I've been working through Squawks mainly since I've got it home, just fixing a few little issues and tweaking some things and really going over the rigging and just double checking everything. After putting some hours on it, you know, want to make sure everything's tight and everything's good. So that's kind of been my focus. Now that that's in a good place, I want to, you know, start on these mods. A lot more to come, you guys. We're just getting started with the BLT. There's going to be a lot more content, a lot more going on there, I promise. You know, that's a new era. The era of the BLT begins, and we say goodbye to the S7. And you know, it's yeah, it was a lot of years of a lot of adventures, doing a lot of crazy stuff with that airplane. So a little hard to say goodbye, I guess, but I'm ready for this. We're moving on to bigger and better things, and we'll see where it goes. It's going to be an adventure. So anyway, that's it, you guys. I'll stick my Patreon up here. If anybody wants to help support the channel, it really does help. I've been throwing money at this BLT like crazy. I'm trying to finish it, and you know, anything helps to keep the videos coming. So I appreciate that. And yeah, that's it for now. You guys know the deal. See you on the next one. Take care.